I don't know if I got my scarf right or not, but I've been dealing with it for way too long. So let's go ahead and get into this video. Let me turn this heater off because I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. Can y'all hear it? Because I'm really cold now. I'm going to turn it off. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, welcome. In today's video, I am going to be giving you guys instructions on how to complete an admission in long-term care. So grab your pen and paper and let's get to talking. Okay. What did I do with my AirPod? I'm unorganized today. All right, so let's get into it. How to complete an admission in long-term care. First thing first, I need to put my AirPod in so I can make sure y'all hear me.
A few minutes later.
Ooh, I'm so slow. Why y'all ain't tell me I'm slow? I am dead over here. Listen, y'all know y'all had the moments too. I ain't the only one. Y'all had the moments too. I feel so slow. But it's okay. It's okay. You know, because it stay in your ear for so long, like, it becomes numb. You really can't feel it, but whatever. Alright. So this video might become a two-part video, because it's a lot. Like, this is a lot of stuff I have jotted down there. This is not even all of it. This is just what I've done so far. So I didn't want to wait too long before posting another video, so I just, decided to go ahead and go with what I have right now. So let's get into it. First thing first, admissions will notify you about a mission that's coming. They'll let you know how many you're gonna have on your shift, when they're supposed to arrive, and they'll give you a packet that, of the paperwork that they already have. It'll be orders, a little background history, just a packet full of things that you should know about the resident. Now, the medication and things that's in the package, I would go over it, but I wouldn't take it as permanent because the medications change. So just use it as something like a guide to just go ahead and get familiar with the resident. But it definitely won't be the finalized thing because you have to wait for the 3008 to come from the hospital, or if they're coming from another nursing facility. And sometimes you have respite residents that come in for like maybe 4 or 5 days. It just depends. So all of this is gonna help you with either or, whether they're coming from hospital, another nursing home, or respite care. Okay, so that was number one. Admissions will notify you and they'll give you a packet. The second thing here is the nurse will call you from the hospital, home, another facility, or if the respite is coming, the family member will call, or the home health nurse or whoever they have in charge of that resident will call, and they'll let you know a little bit about the resident. So when the nurse calls, we're just gonna go with a hospital admission. Someone's coming from the hospital. When they call, you need to ask all the questions that you need to ask then, because sometimes it's hard to get back in touch with somebody from the hospital. Sometimes those people report off, they're no longer there, so the next shift might not know anything about the resident. So make sure you ask all the questions that you need to ask when they call to get a report. The questions that I like to ask, and this is just what I like to ask, and sometimes most facilities have a little check-off list that they would like for you to ask, so it's easy for you to go by. But if they do not have it, this is what I recommend. And it's not in order from priority. Like I always say, I'm just going to give you a few pointers, and I have 5, 6, 7 of them here. So definitely jot it down, take note, so you guys will have it, because it's helpful for me, so I know it'll be helpful for you. So number 1 question is, you're going to want to ask, of course they're going to give you their name, their date of birth, and their age. So you're going to want to ask their diagnosis. Let them give you a full rundown on why they, came to the hospital, what was the primary diagnosis. I would also like to ask, what all has the hospital done since they been admitted to the hospital. So let's just say they went for confusion. That was the primary diagnosis. So I would want to know, like, why were they confused? What did y'all do? So of course they're gonna probably say they ran some labs. They found out that the resident was dehydrated. They gave fluids, and they just been monitoring them. Let's say on the way on. And then let's also just say why they were there. They found out that they had, they was diabetic. Let's just say that. So, let's just ask all those questions. Make sure you notate all of that. If they're, a new diabetic, you'll have to know that you're going to have to probably give them a little bit more education on how to, recognize when their blood sugar is low or high, or when to call a nurse. It's just stuff so you will know what you need to do for that resident when they come and you have to provide more care, because we'll be the ones that'll probably have them the longest, because most of the time they'll be there for like 21 days, something like that. So I feel like I'm all over the place right now, but I'm not. So like I said, the diagnosis, and then you're going to ask what all they have done since they've been admitted to the hospital. And then another question I would ask is, are they diabetic? And I just kind of put that in there, so you'll know what their last blood sugar was, and also ask when was their last meal. So I normally work 3 to 11 shift, so I would want to know when was their last meal, so I know if I need to get them a dinner tray to come out, and if so, I'll let the kitchen know that we have a new resident coming, so that way I have them something set aside for them to eat, and then I just warm them up when they get there. And also with 7 to 3 shift for lunch as well, if they come around lunchtime, if they haven't ate at the hospital, I'll make sure I have a lunch tray ready for them. And I'll still kind of just let them know in case, what they ate at the hospital wasn't enough. So that's another question. When was their last meal? And when and what was their last blood sugar check? You also want to know when was their last bowel movement. Bowel movements are very important in long-term care. We have to keep up with those. I think it's like a every 3 days. Like if they haven't gone in 3 days, you'll get an alert on the computer. So if they're coming from the hospital, just make sure you ask when did they last go there, so we can keep going from there, and we'll keep track of it. So you don't want nobody to be constipated, child, because let me tell you, it's not good. It's not good, because like you don't always get older people. You have younger people that come to the nursing facility as well, but for elderly people, it's kind of more critical, because they don't move around as much, they don't eat as much, they don't drink as much, so it's easy for them to get constipated, and you're gonna be doing suppositories, lactulose, mirror, like it's too much. So stay on top of bowel movements for your sake, and most importantly for the resident's sake. And another question that I like to ask is if they are confused. You really want to know if they are confused, if they are combative. That way you'll be prepared when they come. If they're confused, you're going to probably want their room to be close to the nurse's station. You're going to want a Wonder Guard ready to put on them. If it's okay with the family member, you still have to get that consent. And if they're confused, you just want to know, so you can know how you're going to be caring for that person before they even walk through the door. Also ask if they are a fall risk. So you can have that in mind. That's another reason why you probably want to have them closer to the nurse's station so you can hear and listen out for them. Because them the ones that like to get out of bed by themselves the most. The fall risk people knowing they can't get up by themselves, but they love to do it. I would also like to ask if they have any personal items such as dentures, hearing aids, glasses, or phone, or anything that's like very important to them, because once they get to the facility, you want to make sure they brought those items with them. If not, you can call back and be like, hey, they didn't come over here with this, so I don't want the family members thinking that we misplaced their items. So if they say they have dentures and hearing aids and stuff, they need to come through the door with it. And if not, then, you know, you can say it got lost in between coming from the hospital to the facility, or it never made it from the hospital, or the family members got it. You just don't want to be accountable for their personal things. And also, last but not least, ask the reporting nurse if they have scripts. If they have scripts for pain medication, antibiotics, whatever, make sure that they put it in the packet that's coming over with the EMT, because it is hard to get those scripts if they do not come already, and you have to have those scripts in order to get the medication. If they on antibiotics and it's something that they have to have around the clock, you do not want to be waiting around for the doctor from the facility to be writing another script, because they're gonna have to come in and evaluate their resident. They don't all the time like to take orders from another doctor and, you know, start it in their name if they haven't evaluated the resident. So make sure if the doctor from the hospital has wrote a prescription for something, make sure that it comes over with them so you can go ahead and send it to the pharmacy and you won't have them waiting. Because for one thing, the pain medication is, maybe they want their medicine, so you better have a script or you're gonna have some problems. Because I hate going there, I'm sorry, Miss Susie, but we haven't got the medication yet. We're waiting on pharmacy for another hour. Hey, y'all got me. I'm sorry, but we're still waiting on pharmacy. They keep saying they haven't received the script. You gotta keep coming up with stuff. Like, just make sure you have the script. That's very important. I should have put that number one, but like I said, it's not in order. But write that down. Make sure you have the scripts. Okay, so after you've gotten a report and asked all of the good stuff that you need, you want to ask them when is the pickup time, when is their estimate time of arrival. I almost forgot this. So you can kind of have in mind when you need to have everything together, and you can probably go and make sure you get all your other residents out the way and make sure you have all of their stuff ready. You'll be prepared for them to come, so you won't be overwhelmed. You'll, you know, kind of have an eye on what's going to happen in the future. And then I would also want to know if any family members are coming along with them, and that's going to help out with signing paperwork and things. Because if a family member is not coming, you'll know that you have to get a verbal consent, and you'll let another nurse or somebody know, so you'll have somebody to do a witness sign with you. All right, so the fourth thing that I have on the list is make sure the room is ready. So let your CNA, your aide, someone know that, and also maintenance, let them know that someone is coming, so they can have the pan ready, put in the room, have the soap, comb, deodorant, you know, all the fresh stuff that you need for a new room. Make sure the room is clean, new sheets, make sure the AC is working. This is when the maintenance man is gonna come in handy. Make sure the AC working, the TV working, make sure you have a remote, make sure the call bell is working and in there, and all that good stuff. Just make sure the room is comfortable and ready for someone to come. Don't have no unprepared room. That is so aggravating. They come, they're nothing working, they already don't want to be there. Don't nobody want to go to the nurse home unless they out their mind, they don't know where they at. But don't nobody want to go to the nurse home, so make it as comfortable as possible for them. Make sure that everything is working. Okay, so the 5th thing we have here is the actual arrival. So when they arrive, you want to make sure you record the exact time that they arrive at the facility. Whenever you lay eyes on them, make sure you jot that time down. EMT is going to give you a envelope with all of their information in it. So on there, I would write down the time that they came, and I normally use that packet to write down all the important information that I need. So when they arrive, you're going to want to go to the room with the EMT, kind of help them unload along with the CNA. And when they leave, you're going to want to go ahead and complete the skin assessment while you and the CNA is in the room. Do the skin assessment. Remove all, what is the name of them things? Y'all know the little sticky things they be having on people when they be monitoring them. Take all of that stuff off. If you see any extra stuff that the hospital left on, because they don't care, they'll leave all types of stuff on you. Take all that stuff off. If they got on some raggedy nasty socks, get them some new socks. Ask them questions like, are they in pain? Are they comfortable? Would they like the air on? Would they like some water? Just get them comfortable. And I would get the last set of vital signs also from the EMT. And also while you're in there doing a skin assessment, kind of do evaluation and see, are they able to complete their ADLs, like roll from side to side, answer questions, obey commands, sit up on the side of the bed by themselves, see if they can walk to the bathroom if they feel like it, see if they can make their needs known, because in all of these questions you're asking, you're gonna have to put it in the computer, because you have UDAs to complete. So you need to ask these questions so you won't be running back and forth to the room asking later. So you'll get this admission packet thing too, and then it'll kind of tell you everything that you need to do. But you'll need to do a bowel and bladder assessment and all that type of stuff. So, and a fall screen, pain, pressure ulcer. So ask all the questions you need to ask while you're in there right now, and kind of write it down. So when you get back to the computer to do these assessments, you already know. Don't just mark anything. Like, you really need to know if they're fall risk, or if they at risk for pressure ulcers. And you'll know that if you're not able to move around in the bed by yourself. And like I said, pain. And I will also ask if they're a smoker, so you can do a smoker screen and make sure they are capable of going and smoking when it's time to do the smoking session. And then the bowel and bladder, see if they're able to go to the bathroom on their own or make their needs known, and let us know when they have to. And also while you're in there, if they are not confused and they're able to sign their own paperwork, ask. And if they want to sign it, you can go ahead and get them to sign their side rail consent, because you can't use the side rails if they don't sign the consent. Which in most states, they already don't use the side rails because they look at it as a restraint. But we still use the ones at the top two. But you still have to ask and make sure it's okay with the resident or the family member if they want them to use the side rails. And you're also going to want to do the consent to treat. They need to sign it. It just is dumb to me. Like, why am I getting them to sign a consent to treat and they already here? Shouldn't y'all ask that before they come, if it's okay for this facility to treat them? Y'all should do that in admissions. I'm just putting it out there. That don't make sense. You get there, and they're like, oh, I don't want you to treat me. So then what? I just did all this for nothing. So yeah, that's that. Consent to treat. Sorry, I am not digging in my nose. It's this nose ring. Consent to treat, flu and pneumonia, consent, the side rails, and I think that is it. As far as the paperwork that they need to sign. Yeah. Okay, and then after you get all of that completed, you're just gonna want to head on out the room, and so you can start getting things prepared, like putting the orders in the computer, sending things to the pharmacy and stuff like that. This video is already like at 20 something minutes, and I don't want it to be any longer, so that's why I said I'm gonna do a part 2. So this is part 1 of how to complete an admission. I hope you guys understood everything I was saying. I hope I wasn't going too fast. But that's like the first steps of an admission. So you guys make sure you are staying tuned. Make sure your notification bell, let me fix these. Make sure the notification bell is on, because I am going to be posting part 2 shortly after this. Leave some comments, leave some tips, more things. If y'all have something else to add on, leave it in the comment section. Big thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, and please y'all watch the ads, because you know I'm doing this because I enjoy doing it, but it would be awesome if I could, you know, get a little coins from doing it as well. And I also have like this little, it's a little thanks thing at the bottom, like on the section where the likes and dislikes and all that is at. You can send a little money if you want to as well. I'm gonna put it up here so y'all can see it. But please make sure you're watching the ads. Don't skip the ads, and stay tuned for part 2.